All right, welcome back. And we're still in our community development segment. And a very, very important part of our community is healthcare and healthcare facilities. Now, one of those in Ghana, in Accra, is already 5 years old and more. The University of Ghana Medical Center is launching a fifth anniversary since operations began, and I've been joined in the studio by Dr. George Che. He's the Director of Medical and Scientific Research Center, as well as Barbara Usu-Heming, who is the Head of PR and Client Services of the UGMC. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here. All right, so I was saying off air, 5 years already. How on earth is UGMC 5 years already? Any of you, how do you feel about it?
Thank you. So first of all, I would like to say a big shout out to board management and staff, patients and other stakeholders of the center this morning. And we are really excited, as you said, about the attainment of 5 years because since operationalization, because we are all aware, we have the history, and we have not celebrated any anniversary so far because we have been busy putting our hands on the plow, working hard to ensure that we position ourselves to deliver world-class patient care training and research. So all too soon.
Yeah, you're 5 years is up.
We're 5 years,
well,
yes.
Dr. Che, the UGMC is supposed to be a quaternary center, if I'm right. What does that actually mean in practice?
So a quaternary center is a place where when everything fails, that is where you go.
Okay.
So that is what it means in practice. So it's a place where, like when you are sick, you go to the clinic that is close to you. In Ghana, that may be a polyclinic. They will see you, maybe they will turn you to the district hospital, and maybe they realize that, oh, you need this kind of special surgery, or you need this kind of special investigation, and so then they will refer you to a place that is quaternary in nature. So that is what, in a nutshell, that is what that means.
Okay. And UGMC is actually the only quaternary center we have in Ghana, isn't it?
Yes, so far.
So it means that when Kolebu fails, they come to you?
Yes, that is what it's supposed to be.
Ideally.
Yes.
Ideally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have not gotten there totally yet, but we are working very vigorously towards that goal. Yes.
Okay. Do you receive walk-ins?
We do receive walk-ins as well. So we have an outpatient department that is open to all Ghanaians, and you can walk in. You can also book. Our system of booking, unlike other hospitals where you just go and queue for the whole day and don't know when you'll be seen, we have a booking system. So you actually have to book to come in. There's a number you can call. Take Barbara will give us the number if needed. You can call to book, and you'll be given a specific time that you can come in and your doctor will see you. You can also book online at our website. You can book an appointment to see a specialist online, and again, when you come in, you'll be seen at the time that was booked for you.
Okay. So, Barbara, what are some of the milestones that we're celebrating?
Okay, so we've had the operationalization of the biggest medical training and simulation center in the sub-region. So far, they have been able to train more than 2,000 health and non-health workers. Some of the training programs for the health workers have been trainings and simulations on suturing, intubation, and a whole lot more. For the non-health workers, we have our popular training program, the basic life support, that you can be trained on. When we talk about CPR, most Ghanaians don't know how to offer CPR, and sometimes it's a lifesaver, or oftentimes it's a lifesaver. We have that flagship program by the Medical Training and Simulation Center running for the past 5 years. We've also been able to increase our OPD, or our specialist clinics, from 3 to 42.
Wow.
Yes. So we have now we have a neurosurgery clinic. We have the second biggest cardiothoracic center in the sub-region.
You have 42 OPDs.
Specialist clinics at the OPD.
Wow.
Yes. It's a 1,000-bed facility. And currently, we have the biggest general ICU also in the country. So in terms of patients' care, there's been a lot of strides. We've had an angiogram, an MRI activated. Those services are activated. With the angiogram, we offer both adult and pediatric catheterizations.
Okay.
And these the angiogram is one of the very few in the country. It's a machine that can do both diagnostic and minimally invasive interventions without having to actually cut people up open, and all that. And these are things that you would call quaternary or above the tertiary level. So we are steadily positioning ourselves to be that world-class center we want to be. In terms of research, we have 3 main focal areas at the UGMC. We have the patient care, the training, and then the research. And director here is the director for the research center. Okay. And these past few months or years have been very, very big for that directorate, because we have just been signed on to one of the largest international databases for clinical research. Okay. And our center, Dr. Che and his team have worked so hard to get them signed on, so that big pharma can now look. UGMC will pop up for big pharma to look up to when they want to conduct research. Okay.
So this is what we call clinical trials.
Correct.
No, okay. Yes, clinical trials. Okay. Okay. And they are about to launch or set up the first ever clinical trials unit in West Africa. Inpatient, which is big and historic, and it's one of the.
It's impressive.
Yes, the things that we are trying to get Ghanaians and all stakeholders to get involved and own it, so that we as a people can now have trials in this country whereby we have Ghanaians or blacks being used for the human trials and not some person somewhere. So these are some of the things.
I think it's a very important development that we come to. Of course, we could go into the reasons why. If you can just sort of take us into that just a little bit.
I'm very, very happy to. So, I always say that, I'm over 50 now, so most people over 50 are on one medication or the other, right? Yeah. Maybe you are taking a blood pressure medicine or something for diabetes or something. And a lot of these medicines, the clinical trials were done in Europe or America, right? For hypertension, for instance, you realize that some of the medication, they don't work very well in black people. Yeah. And the reason is that the trials were not done here. Now, in Africa, right, because humans started in Africa, we have more genetic diversity within Africa than the rest of the world combined. Wow. Listen to that. Wow. So if you take somebody in Ghana and somebody in Kenya, and you look at the genetic code, it's a lot more different than, say, somebody in Europe and somebody in China. Okay. Right? And all of those other people, combined, right? So that means that more trials need to be done here. Yeah. Now, this is becoming a lot more important, because now a lot of treatments for cancer and autoimmune diseases and those kinds of diseases is based on on the genetics of the disease. Okay. So usually the doctors will look at take the samples to the lab, look at the genetic makeup, and say that based on the genetic makeup, this treatment will work. Yeah. Now currently Ghana is missing out on these treatments because we don't have the capability to be involved in those kinds of trials. So these are inpatient experimental trials, which, that's what UGMC wants to be known for, where if you have a disease that, a cancer or autoimmune disease or something, that we'll be doing those trials at UGMC. Now, to do that, usually you need two things. You need an inpatient place, a ward that is specialized for clinical trials.
Okay.
So far, UGMC, we have set up a ward that is dedicated for clinical trials. You also need a modern, super modern laboratory that can do all kinds of genetic testing, do things that we call like flow cytometry, do like, cytogenetics. Now, these things, if you cannot do, then the big pharmaceutical company, they are not going to bring the trials to you because, you can't say, I'm testing the patient, I'm taking the sample to America or South Africa or something like that. So that is why we want to patient assess in West Africa to be able to do all of these testing.
Yeah.
And so that is our clinical trials unit that we are setting up is for inpatient trials. Yeah. There are outpatient, places that they can do trials in the country. Yeah. But when it comes to inpatient experimental trials, there's nothing that is modern, that is up to international standards. Yeah. So that is what we are very excited about. And so far, we do have some partners that are going to help to bring the latest analyzers, the latest equipment. I'm sure you've all heard where sometimes you go to the hospital, the doctor writes a test for you, you take it, and then they say that this one is going to have to go to South Africa.
Yes.
You've all heard that,
yes.
Right? We want to end that. We want to end that.
We're sending it to South Africa.
Yeah,
we'll wait for it.
Exactly. And then you wait 2 weeks, the results comes, but it's not even useful to the doctor anymore. Yeah. So, but why can't we do those in Ghana, right? So that's the kind of thing we want to change. Yeah.
Fantastic. Barbara, can you run us through what you have for the celebrations of this 5th anniversary? Okay,
so tomorrow is a big day. We launch the 5th anniversary celebrations as well as the fundraiser for this historic clinical trials unit you just spoke about. Okay. So tomorrow, Wednesday, and then on Friday we have what you call the sales fair for corporates Ghana to come and introduce whatever they have to our staff. And then on 15th, that's Saturday, we're having a big health screening at the Mampong School for the Deaf and Dumb. Comprehensive screening. These are people with special needs who sometimes are often are marginalized when it comes to world-class healthcare. And so we are all moving to Mampong School for the Deaf on Saturday. And then the climax events will be a Grand Derby appreciation day, and then also to launch our strategic plan. That will be on 25th August. That's when we pull the curtain on the celebrations.
Nice. So if you can just help us, if people are watching now, they would like to know if it's possible to walk in, as we said. How do they book? All those kind of details. Do we have those available that we can? Okay,
so we actually prefer that people book at UGMC. But being a patient-centered facility, we don't turn people who have not booked away. But the preference is for you to book. Yeah. You can either call 0302550843. You can do that, choose that route, or you can go on our website and just click on booking. And it will just take you there. It's a seamless and very simple process. We have our appointment coordinators. They will call you, and you would have a better experience if you booked.
If you booked,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Fantastic. Just a quick one, Dr. Che, before you leave us. I know there was Noguchi, then there was WACPIP, and then now we're setting up this clinical trial unit with the UGMC. Is there any connection between these three bodies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
quickly just.
Yes, we are all part of the University of Ghana ecosystem. So WACPIP does basic research. Noguchi also does basic research. Actually, WACPIP and Noguchi works very well together. Actually, I do my research at Noguchi. I'm an associate professor at the University of Ghana. Yes. So the research at UGMC is also coordinated by the University of Ghana. So I was, for instance, seconded to UGMC to set up the research unit. So we all work together. We just do different things. So because UGMC has patient, inpatient, right? we want to set up a trials unit that ensures that, if there is a new injection, a new chemical, a new thing that has come that you need to give to patients whilst they are in the hospital, there's a facility. You can't do that at Noguchi or Wagbe, but you can do that at UGMC.
Okay.
But it's the same professors and the same doctors who are
collaborating, working
together.
together.
Yeah, correct.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us. Any final words?
Yes, I would like the public to join in the fundraising exercise.
Okay.
There's a saying that no amount is too small. You just
It's a true
support us. Very soon we are launching there's an app called Chango. You look out for the clinical trials unit at UGMC and donate your widow's mite to ensure that Ghana owns this historic unit.
All right.
And I would just add that, if you go outside, you go to I spent a lot of time in the US. One thing that struck me was that you go to any hospital, any university, every building has somebody's name on it. And it's not just that, it's not random, People give money for their names to be on buildings. So they give money to build these buildings. So that improves the society. So, if you're in Ghana and you have the means, don't just build mansions for yourself, but also consider the society. Because if you build something for UGMC, it's going to be here forever. It's going to outlast all of us. When we are all dead and gone, it will be there serving the public.
Okay, fantastic. Barbara.
Yes, I just want to thank our media partners, Citi TV, Citi FM, GTV. I mean, it is because of the partnership that we've been able to sit here to amplify whatever we're doing. We want to thank IT Consortium, Remote Medical Insurance, Dashen, all the sponsors and partners who have helped us and brought us this far. We say a very big thank you.
Fantastic. All right, so we'll be speaking with Dr. George Che, who's Director of Medical and Scientific Research Center at the UGMC, and then, of course, Barbara Owusu-Hemming, Head of PR and Client Services at the UGMC. And, of course, we know that the launch of the 5th anniversary celebrations is happening and starting tomorrow, as well as the fundraiser for the Clinical Trials Unit of the UGMC.